can't do an African show without showing some native African stuff like these house snakes. Alright, so we made it to South Africa. Good morning, I am super excited. We are at the reptile show. We're gonna spend the next 2 days here. We're gonna have some amazing things going on, see all the animals, meet a lot of cool people. It's gonna be absolutely bananas. Look at this place. This is awesome, man. I am so excited to be here. Just kind of making my first rounds, kind of seeing stuff. In this exhibit right here, I've already seen. Take a look at this guy. You got an albino diamondback, got some cobras. Oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. This is amazing. Take a look at this. Oh man. Little mamba. Oh, I love this booth. There is some crazy stuff, man. This is awesome. I've never seen this at a reptile show ever before. It's a green tree python tree. What's up with this, dude? What's going on? You got green tree pythons all over me. Now that is pretty awesome. That's about as creative as I've ever seen.
Yeah, came to me in a moment of madness.
So we're gonna go check out this line here. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Hi, how are you guys? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Alright, so all these people are just waiting to get into the reptile show, so it's going to be a fun day. I can't wait to meet everyone. I can't wait to see all these cool animals. It's going to be absolutely awesome. There are tons of really cool animals here. I'll try to highlight as many of them as can as the day goes on. I'm at Reptiles for Centuries right here. Look at, they've got a bunch of really cool Western hognose. They've got tricolor hognose here. Got really cool ball pythons. I mean, take a look at all this Batman, all kinds of stuff. This is pretty impressive. I mean, again, I'm just getting into the show, so there's a lot more to see, but there's a lot of really cool animals here. I couldn't be more impressed. First animal I want to just kind of show you guys is from the Reptile Company, and it's really cool. It's actually a world's first. Of course, I've never seen it because it's the only one, but this is actually a desert axanthic pinstripe. So, you know, the desert is actually a codominant gene. Axanthic is a recessive gene, and of course the pinstripe is incomplete dominant, but together it just makes a unbelievably like smooth animal. I mean, that thing is so freaking cool. I produced the first axanthic pinstripe, but that desert gene really changed it. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely gorgeous. You know, certainly I say this every time I come to a reptile show, that it's the people that really make these shows amazing. The animals are incredible, but meeting so many people, that's what really makes it special. And you said that some people, you know, friends of yours weren't able to come here. They wanted to, so what's the deal with them?
Yeah, it's Yichu and Arno. They're big followers of your channel, but they couldn't make it today, so I want to send a shout out to them.
Well, I wish you would have been here, but thank you for sending someone to say hi to me. I've got lots more great people to meet. This has already been an amazing day. And of course, we have another vlogger here. I love the fact that there's vloggers all over the world. Tell me a little bit about what you vlog and where I can find you.
At A Bugman's Life. I specifically do videos about insects, spiders, sometimes a bit of snakes, but not too often because I don't keep them myself, and specifically. And then I go on nature walks and show you what you can find in South Africa in the field that people mostly miss.
Exactly, it's awesome. I've actually watched a bunch of his videos, absolutely awesome. Put a link in the description, tell him I sent you. There are a lot of ball pythons at this show that are really absolutely amazing. This one is really cool because look at it, it's like a smiley. It's actually got two smiley faces, one right here and one right there. So even though Smiley is back home, I feel a little closer home seeing this Smiley. You know guys, one of the coolest things here so far is I've ran into so many cool YouTubers as well, and I always talk about how, you know, sharing our community together is so important. And so again, another awesome YouTuber that we've been hanging out with, doing some collaborative stuff, so I will put a link in the description to his stuff, so go ahead and check it out. You'll get his perspective, not only of what we're doing, but also the entire show.
My name's Leon Lodgecon, and my channel is all about the wild wonders of Southern Africa. So I do a little bit of upkeep of animals that you can keep in the reptile hobby and in the arachnid hobby, but then also I do a whole lot of wildlife videos because I am a tour guide and I get to see South Africa's wild and wonderful places up close and personal, and I share that with you guys.
Again, link in the description, show them some love and tell them I sent you. Again, there's a lot of really incredible ball pythons here, but this one's kind of interesting. I've seen plenty of paradox ball pythons, whether it be ivory or blue-eyed leucisticus or whatever it is, but this one's a little bit unique. This was actually a blue-eyed leucistic, but it was born completely white, and then as it grew, it actually started to develop pigment. Now, of course, it's still relatively young, and we don't know if maybe will it continue to develop more and more pigment. Regardless, it's just interesting. I've never really seen this in a ball python before, but it is super cool. Another cool ball python here at Snakes Alive is actually this albino butter ball python. Now there's been albino lessers for quite some time, but apparently this might be the very first albino butter ball python. And of course the butter ball python is much like the lesser ball python, being that they're both co-dominant, and of course the albino is recessive. So what you basically have to do is breed an albino to a butter or a lesser and then raise those babies up. So it does take some time, but it's pretty freaking awesome. All right, we got a couple new friends here. What's your name?
Troy.
What's your name?
Kieran.
Do you guys keep any reptiles?
Yes, I've got 7 snakes and he's got 2.
You got 7 and you got 2? They seem like cool kids to me. Certainly one of the things that's really cool traveling to other countries is just basically seeing different genes popping up and how they express themselves. This happens to be an interesting one here, and it's basically what should be really a pewter yellow belly, but it should have a ton of pattern in it. This one is basically patternless, and it just really doesn't even make any sense. And again, that's what I think is so cool when you travel to places like this, because you'll see something where you're like, well, I've never seen anything like that in America, and you don't know what's going on. Now, it's going to probably take a number of years to really figure it out, but in the meantime, it's pretty freaking cool. I love it. It really looks almost more like a pastel super cinnamon rather than just a pastel cinnamon yellow belly, and it doesn't have a super version in it at all. So I don't know if it's like a fader gene or something else. I'm not 100% sure, but it's pretty freaking awesome. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna take a real quick look around the show. I have been pretty much inundated all day. It was so amazing, the outpouring of people that support me here. I mean, I tell you, it was really unbelievably humbling. But the downside is that I really didn't even get a chance to see the show. I've literally only seen one aisle of this entire show. So I'm gonna run around as quick as I can, but the show is closing in about 15 minutes, so I don't have much time. I'm gonna do the best I can do. Tomorrow, I will absolutely spend more time really highlighting the show. Today was just kind of hanging out in craziness, but absolutely incredible. Let's see what we can get into. I can't do an African show without showing some native African stuff like these house snakes, and this is pretty amazing. I'm at Ultimate Exotics, and they have some incredible house snakes. This one here happens to be what they call a butter house snake, actually an albino green. So these are basically the greens right here, and this is actually a hypomelanistic green. You can certainly see it's a different color, whereas a normal house snake would be a brown color. So the butters are this with the albino version, but then there's another snake that he's working with that absolutely blew me away, and I didn't even know it existed, and that's this one here. This is actually a double recessive, which is basically a leucistic that's bred to an albino, and you've got basically almost what looks like a snow corn snake, but in a house snake. Now, I didn't even know there was a leucistic house snake, let alone the fact that there's a double recessive. So what incredible animals. And again, you know, ball pythons and all that stuff are amazing for sure, but I had to show some love to house snakes because I think they're some of the coolest little animals out there.
Welcome, South Africa!
And again, another cool ball python morph that I hadn't really seen too much. It's called a Niala, and it's actually a co-dominant mutation. This is actually a Niala piebald ball python, and you can see how it really affects the kind of darkening up, and it just has that really amazing pattern to it. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, it's not quite a panda pied, but it's still really cool. It's a new gene that I think is going to do some really awesome stuff here. So it's cool to come here to South Africa and find some genes that I haven't seen before, and see that they're kind of pioneering some things that will eventually, I'm sure, make it over to America. Another new mutation that they're working with that ball python morphs is this furrow. This thing is unbelievable. It's kind of like a granity type of animal, but look what it does to a pinstripe right there. I mean, look at all of that crazy busy pattern. This is really cool. And again, they're working with like 3 or 4 brand new mutations that I've never seen, and I don't even know much about, to be totally honest with you, but I know that they're pretty awesome looking, and I'm pretty excited to see what the future is. Again, it's neat to just kind of see new things. What's the potential to get into new mutations? Then what are they going to do once you get into all kinds of different stuff? And then just to kind of do a recap here, this is actually a combination of a few different genes, the Niala, the furrow, and a Mojave. Take a look at how this is coming out. I mean, it is awesome. I love the dark morph genes, so this one is super awesome. And then of course there's these guys here, which are of course the cave dwelling rats, or Ridley-eye. These have just always been one of my favorite of the beauty snakes. And you know, we work with a bunch of different beauty snakes like Taiwans, but the fact is the Ridley-eye are one of the most interesting ones. I think it's really cool that it's got that cool head color, and then it goes down to something else, and then the tail goes back to a blue. These guys are really cool, and of course they're a cave dwelling rat snake. How awesome is that? There's also a lot of really cool corn snakes here at the show, and this one is really neat. Of course, it's an albino Motley corn snake, but you can see some of this white kind of blushing that is going through, and even the face has some kind of like patching on it. And most likely, I think this is probably similar to some of the mutations that we see. I think one is called like road rash or whatever, where it's just kind of like a blotching paradoxing thing. So hopefully this will actually be a recessive mutation, and she could produce more of these guys because they're absolutely incredible. But it's cool to see corn snakes because, you know, I love corn snakes. I wasn't sure I was going to see any over here, so it's pretty cool that they're really popular over here too. Again, so the show is shutting down. I didn't get a chance to see a whole lot of it, to be totally honest with you. So tomorrow I'll do a much better job of canvassing the place and showing you some really cool animals. But as for now, everyone's kind of packing up and getting out of here. Now, I actually give a talk here, I think in about an hour or something like that, just about some reptile stuff and having some fun and a little Q&A, and then I'll be hanging out with a bunch of people. So although I didn't get a chance to show you as many animals as I want, I'll take you guys along on this evening's journey before I go to sleep, because I'm going to be honest with you, after traveling as far as we have, I am so lagged out, I am so tired. I'm definitely not going to make it till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning like I'd like to. And I'll be honest with you, I took a bunch of pictures today, and I'm sure I looked horrible in each and every one of them, but hey, what can you do? As for now, we're going to pack up, we're going to get out of here, and I'm going to go give a talk. Just done with my talk. I never really film those type of things because I think it's kind of boring and I don't think you guys want to do it, but we had a really good time. It was a good group of people, super awesome, asked some great questions after the talk, really good. So as you can see, the venue is closed down now. We're going to go out and get some food, kind of chill out a little bit, kind of end this beautiful night, and I definitely need some rest because I'm pretty darn tired. Take a look at this place. It's pretty freaking awesome. It kind of reminds me of Vegas. This is like attached to the hotel. Forrest, of course, is with me. Forrest, what'd you think today?
It's amazing. We're having a blast. We're in Africa. I love the reptile community here. I love this place. All the animals. The promoter's awesome. This guy over here. Hi guys. Yeah, so we're having a great time just starting the adventure, so.
I know, it's so cool. I mean, it's awesome. And it's good to have Forrest with me because at least I have one person that's kind of joining me along the entire trip. But anyways, this is awesome. We're just going to catch some dinner. Alright guys, so I am back from the reptile show, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. Today was just absolutely insane. I was hoping I was going to run around and film a bunch of stuff, but it was really hard to do it, which was really cool. I mean, everyone that came out, thank you so much. You guys were awesome, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I will take a little break here and tell you a little bit about jet lag. Now, typically, I'll be honest with you, I don't jet lag very often, but today, for some reason, after a long day of travel, you got to remember, it was a 15+ hour flight, but I had already been up for 12 or 14 hours, and I didn't sleep at all, and then by the time we got here and all that other stuff, and you have to realize that the time change here, basically when it's 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm waking up here, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning back home, so your body clock is thinking like you need to still be sleeping. Well, I'll be totally honest with you, throughout the day I was feeling really bad, probably the worst I've ever had jet lag before, where I was feeling faint and kind of lightheaded and things were spinny. Regardless, hopefully tonight I can get some sleep, and tomorrow I will feel better and be rocking and rolling. And by the way, I think that today's vlog will be the most boring of my African vlogs, so bear with me because it's going to get better after this. Tomorrow we definitely are going to be back at the show. I'll highlight some more animals. We may go check out a collection afterwards, I'm not sure, but regardless, right after that we're heading down to KZN, down to Durban. It is going to be crazy what we have lined up. It is really going to be an amazing several days ahead of us, so bear with me guys, and hopefully this vlog comes together and it's okay. As for now, I'm going to get some sleep because trust me, I really need it, and I hope that you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me today. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you for everything that you do. Make sure that you're kind to someone today for me, and I promise I'm going to see you guys tomorrow.